Hey everybody, Gary here with Guitarists, and in this video we're going to go over the minor chord number system or Nashville number system. So a lot of people understand it for major, but what if we're in a minor key? So there's a couple ways we could approach it. We can look at minor chord progressions as they relate to the relative major, or we can renumber all the chords for minor. So we're going to talk about those two different approaches and a few different ways that you're going to see it. Before we get into the lesson, please go ahead and click subscribe so that you get all of the latest and greatest content from Guitarists. If you like this video, help us out by clicking that like button. And this video is actually a response to a comment where someone requested we go over this topic. So if there's a video you'd like to see, please let us know in the comments. All right, let's get into it. So let's say we're in a major key, C major. We have the chords in that key: C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. And that's 1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 diminished, 1. And we could use Roman numerals, which is more classical and jazz analysis, or we could just use regular numbers, which is the Nashville number system. It's the same idea. Just in the Nashville number system, a lot of times people will write out an entire chart with no chord names and just numbers and just digits. So that's kind of like the Nashville thing, but it's the same kind of chord analysis. So as you can see with the Roman numerals, major is uppercase, minor is lowercase, the diminished chord has that little circle next to it, which that also has in common with the typical Nashville number system way of writing it. And with the Nashville number system, the minor chords have a dash and the major chords don't have anything. That's one way to do it. Sometimes you'll also see a lowercase m for minor, and for diminish actually written out DIM for diminished. So there's a couple small variations. And as you can see in any major key, 1, 4, 5 are major chords, 2, 3, 6 are minor chords, and the 7 is diminished. So that's true of all major keys. And that's why understanding the structure in any one key allows you to just then transpose to any other key. So now, let's say we were in the key of A minor, which is the relative minor of C. The relative minor of any major key is when we take the 6th chord or the 6th scale degree and we refer to that as the new tonic. So in C major, C is 1, D minor 2, E minor 3, F major 4, G major 5, A minor 6. So A minor is our relative minor to C. And all that means is that A minor and C major share all the same notes and all the same chords. It all just depends on which chord we make the tonic chord and which note we make the tonic note, meaning the home note or the home chord. And when we do make the A or A minor the home note or home chord, that might mean we start a progression on that chord or we resolve on that note in our melody, and that's how you determine if it's in major or minor. Now let's say we were playing a chord progression in the key of A minor that went something like A minor, D minor, E minor, like that, right? Now, some people would refer to that using the Nashville numbers or Roman numeral analysis as it relates to the major. So in other words, this would be 6, 2, 3. I personally did that and do that all the time. I find it convenient to just kind of have one set of chord numbers and always relate things back to the relative major. But not everyone does that, and you want to understand both ways of doing it. So the other way of doing it is thinking of now the new tonic being A minor. So this is 1, A minor, D minor would now be 4, E minor would be 5. But now this is the thing, the intervals are different in minor. So what we end up having is 1 minor, which is A minor, 2 diminished, B diminished. Now this C, some schools will call this flat 3 major because intervallically speaking from the A, we have a root, a major second, and a flat third. The C in relation to the root note A is up a flat third or a minor third. So you would see this referred to most likely in the Nashville number system. Most of those guys and definitely in jazz, the Berkeley method, not in classical. A lot of classical people would just call this 3 major, knowing that they're in a minor key. But I and most pop-oriented and jazz and Nashville folks will call this flat 3 major. So we have 1 minor, 2 diminished, flat 3 major, 4 minor, 5 minor, because these intervals are the same, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, flat 6 major, because the F is the interval of a minor 6th away from an A. So flat 6 major, flat 7 major, because the G is a minor 7th away from the A, back to 1. So now looking at our relative minor and major chords, in A minor we can call this A minor 1 minor, B diminished 2 diminished, C major flat 3 major, D minor 4 minor, E minor 5 minor, F major flat 6 major, G major flat 7 major, back to A minor 1 minor. Now, in a minor key, very often we make the 5 chord a major chord. So in the key of A minor, you'll often see an E major, for instance. And what that is we're altering this one note, the major third, we make the minor third of the 5 chord into a major third so that it leads us, it's called the leading tone, back to the root of A minor. So that leading tone, the major third of the E, goes up a half step to the root of the 1 chord. So that gives us what we call dominant function. So a lot of times you'll see 5 major, so just the 5. Now if we were thinking of the chords in terms of the relative major, this would be the 3 chord, 3 major, right? C, D, E, 3 major. Now that was doing it with the relative major and minor, A minor and C. Let's look at it if it was just the parallel major and minor. So C major, C minor. So C major, 1, 4, 5 are going to be major, 2, 3, 6 minor, 7 diminished. C major, 1, 2 minor, D minor, E minor, 3 minor, F major, 4 major, G major, 5 major, A minor, 6 minor, B diminished, 7 diminished, back to 1 major. Now if it was C minor, then we have 1 minor, C minor, 2 diminished, D diminished, 3 flat 3 major, E flat major, 4 minor, F minor, 5 minor, G minor, A flat major, flat 6 major, B flat major, flat 7 major, back to C minor 1. So that's how that works. And then the question is, well, what's the value of that? So the main value especially for these Nashville musicians, is if you can see chord progressions in terms of their structure, you can just play it in any key. The key becomes irrelevant. You just say the key and I just play the structure, right? So if you understand chord number theory, you can easily play in any key and you kind of have an idea of what all the chords are going to be. And if you see the structure, you know what those chords are. On guitar, we can master the intervals in one key and we know the intervals in every key. So for instance, let's say this was 1 minor. I know 5 is right below it. I know that flat 6 is up a half step from that. I know that 4 is down here, right? So if you unlock the structure on the guitar, 1, 5, 4, 5, flat 6, this is minor, I'm thinking flat 7, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and especially if you memorize your intervals on the E and the A string, then you could use kind of bar chords, your basic E shape, you know, E shape, E minor shape, A shape, A minor shape, to just play the structure, to easily play these full chords with any structure. So that's the difference between the minor and the major. If you want to go deeper into understanding these intervals, the scales, how to find them, definitely head over to guitartricks.com. There's a bunch of courses from very, very beginner to more advanced in just guitar fundamentals, rock, blues, country, songwriting, all sorts of cool stuff. So that's at guitartricks.com. I hope this lesson was helpful. Happy playing, and I'll see you next time.